There's this puzzle in business that's just incredibly frustrating. Why is it that some truly great, innovative products end up failing? And I mean, failing spectacularly. It's pretty much a nightmare scenario, isn't it? Imagine you pour everything into innovating, you build something that's genuinely better than anything else out there, you launch with these huge expectations, and nothing. It just completely flops. Well, today we're going to dig into the story of a company that learned this lesson the absolute hard way. So say hello to the Aqualisa quartz. Back in 2001, this thing wasn't just a new shower. It was a full-on revolution in a market that, seriously, hadn't seen much change since Roman times, as one manager put it. It was sleek, it was high-tech, and it promised an experience that was just worlds better than the status quo. But here's the crazy part. Despite all the hype, despite the awards, despite being a genuinely better product, the quartz just didn't sell at all. This incredible innovation was basically dead on arrival. So you have to ask, why? What went wrong? Okay, to really solve this mystery, we first have to appreciate just how good this shower was. On paper, this thing looked like an absolute unstoppable success. Just look at the list of advantages here. It's staggering. For the people actually using it, the consumers, it delivered perfect water pressure, stable temperature, all with this futuristic one-touch control. Parents loved it, the elderly loved it. It had that wow factor for sure. And for the installers, get this. A job that normally took 2 full days of ripping up walls could now be done in just half a day. It won awards, the press was raving. On paper, this was a slam dunk. So that brings us right back to the big question, doesn't it? With all these incredible benefits for everyone involved, the failure it makes no sense. The product was great. The market was clearly there. So what on earth did they miss? Well, the answer, it turns out, isn't in the engineering of the shower itself. It's in the marketing strategy. And to really figure this out, we need to pull out a powerful tool that helps companies see their market in a whole new light. And that tool is called the STP framework. It's pretty simple: segmentation, targeting, and positioning. The whole idea behind it is profound, but also kind of simple. You just can't be everything to everyone. You've got to choose the right people to serve and then put all your energy into becoming the obvious choice for them. All right, let's start with S, segmentation. This is really just about recognizing a basic truth. Not all customers are the same, not even close. They want different things, they care about different features, they act differently. So the first step is to take that huge, messy market and slice it up into smaller, more manageable groups of people who kind of think alike. But here is the absolute key, the most important part. Good segmentation isn't about demographics, things like age or income. It's about motivation. It's about the why. You could have 2 people who look identical on paper, but buy the exact same product for totally different reasons. You have to dig deep and get to the why behind the purchase. This really drives that point home. You have to start with the why, understanding the needs, the pains, the whole decision process. Then you can move on to the what they do, and the who they are. See, Aqualisa, they knew who used showers, but they totally missed the memo on why a specific shower actually got chosen and installed. So once you've mapped out all these different segments, you're faced with what is probably the most important strategic decision you'll ever make. Which one of these groups are you actually going to dedicate your company to serving? And that, my friends, is targeting. It's a conscious choice. You look at all the possible customer groups you've mapped out, and you pick the one or maybe a couple where you know you can create the most value and actually win. Now, this is the part where so many companies trip up. Because real effective targeting isn't just about who you say yes to. It's about who you have the courage to say no to. It's a strategic sacrifice, right? But that's where the power is. Focus creates a massive advantage. You have to be willing to give up on some customers so you can be the absolute perfect choice for the ones you've chosen. And boom, right here, this is the fatal flaw in Aqualisa's entire plan. They built and marketed the quartz shower for the homeowner, the end user, the person who is actually going to stand under the water. But they totally missed the real decision maker in the room, the plumber. Yeah, it turns out the plumber wasn't just some guy who installs things. In this market, the plumber was the most powerful gatekeeper in the entire industry. And for that gatekeeper, the amazing new quartz shower, it wasn't a miracle. It was a threat. This just lays the conflict out so clearly. Think about it. Every single feature that was a massive win for the homeowner was a huge problem for the plumber. That awesome half-day installation? For the plumber, that meant a 2-day job they could bill for just turned into a half-day job. That's a huge pay cut. And that cool new electronic tech that homeowners loved? Well, plumbers had been burned by bad electronics back in the 80s, so to them, it just spelled risk. Risk of it breaking, and risk of them having to come back and fix it for free. And believe me, their opinion mattered. A lot. In the UK market for this type of shower, independent plumbers were responsible for a whopping 54% of all installations. 54%. They weren't just a channel, they were the channel. The ultimate gatekeepers. This quote just nails the whole situation. It's a story from one of the company's managers about her friend. The friend's plumber flat out refused to install the quartz. He's like, nope, I've seen these electronic showers before, they don't work. She literally had to insist. So he finally, grudgingly agrees and quotes her for a 2-day job. But then, he's completely done by lunchtime on day 1. The experience was so mind-blowing for him that he instantly became a convert and asked for a brochure. So the product could win them over, but it had to get past this huge wall of initial resistance first. So what's the big takeaway here? Aqualisa's story, it's not just about showers. It reveals this fundamental truth that applies to so many industries. We're talking everything from medical devices to enterprise software to, even something as simple as kids' cereal. And that truth has a name. It's called the Decision-Making Unit, or DMU for short. The whole idea is that for most big purchases, the customer isn't just one person. It's actually a whole group of people, all with different roles and different things they care about. Think about it. You've got the user, right? The person who actually uses the thing. But you've also got influencers, people who have an opinion. You've got gatekeepers who control access. You've got purchasers who sign the check. And crucially, you have the deciders, the ones who make the final call. If you want to succeed, you can't just sell to one of them. You have to understand and sell to the whole group. And this is where the whole story comes full circle. Aqualisa built the perfect product for the user, the homeowner, but they completely ignored the needs, the fears, and the bank account of the decider, the plumber. Their targeting was off. They aimed at the wrong person, and because of that one mistake, their entire strategy fell apart. So, in the end, Aqualisa's failure is just such a powerful lesson. It teaches us that having a great product, it's just not enough. Marketing isn't about just shouting about your cool features. It's the deep, strategic work of truly understanding the entire customer system. It's about choosing the right customer and then doing everything you can to become their only logical, obvious choice.